from the Treehouse. Very warm welcome to Helen Conway from Cauldron Creations.
Hello.
Welcome, Helen.
Thank you. It's a real pleasure to be here.
Well, I'm so delighted to have you here because you are, well, you know, not like everybody else, but I mean, like everybody else in a way, because everyone that comes into this treehouse is just so creative.
Oh, thank you.
You are probably one of the most creative people that have come in because you brought all these wonderful crafts in with you. That is part of your Cauldron Creations,
Yep.
isn't it? All right. Now, just before we go into having a look at all these lovely pieces that you brought in, how long have you been making things?
I think I've been making things all my life.
Have you?
Not to the point where it's to sell things, but you know, I come from quite a creative family.
Do you?
Yeah, my mum knits, she sews, she made my wedding dress.
Did she?
Yeah, my dad does wood turning, he paints a little bit.
Oh, wow.
So I think it's something that I grew up doing, little bits and pieces.
Yeah.
And then I started more seriously to make things to sell a few years ago. It started, but it's evolved over time.
Yeah.
So it
Yeah.
started very much I was doing polymer clay models, and then I started to do a bit of jewellery. Over time it sort of changed and evolved, and I started doing the jewellery, and then that became more my main focus. And then I started picking up different bits and pieces. So it's always evolving, and sometimes I just have to stop myself from picking up something else new and adding to it, because there's only so much time and there's only so much space in the house.
Yeah, I can imagine, and that is one of the traits of being a creative, isn't it?
It is.
That once you start working on one thing, well, I know I can speak for myself and probably many others as well, you start working on one thing and then that just opens the floodgates up for other ideas. Something just happens and inspiration just kind of fills you.
Yeah, and there's that thing of, because I think, I might be able to use that for something.
Yeah.
So you end up saving little bits and pieces that you think you might be able to add into something, and then all of a sudden you'll be like,
I know,
I can use that for that.
But I want to show everybody, this is what Helen bought as a gift for me today. Isn't she gorgeous? She's a
goddess doll, and she's nice and smelly with some lavender.
Do you know, I thought I could smell something.
Yeah.
That's probably why that bee keeps coming in now. Smell the lavender.
I'm attracting the wildlife.
Yeah, I thought, it's gorgeous. Yeah. And you made her especially for me.
I did.
She's a Morrigan doll.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. I'm just absolutely chuffed. And we've got the crows. We've got clear quartz.
It is, yeah.
And the Triskel, and the pentacle, obviously, and
in your colours.
Oh, beautiful! And the labyrinth.
Yeah, that's ended up being a little bit of a trademark for Spiral, because I've got it on a lot of my jewellery as well for
So
spirals.
how long have you been making these goddess dolls?
A couple of years, and I saw something similar somewhere in a book as an idea for something to make, and I changed it and did it myself.
And
again, that's evolved. So they started off quite generic, and then last year I got I just had sort of an inspiration moment where I did one that was very much for the season.
Yeah.
And then somebody really liked it and kind of encouraged me, Becky, and I'm really grateful to her because she encouraged me to then do the whole lot. It's been a really
the Wheel of the Year.
Yeah, the whole Wheel of the Year.
Yeah, all the Sabbaths.
Yeah, and it's been a really good process because it's not just you get into that sort of really
cycle.
Yeah, and really focusing on what it means.
Yeah.
So I mean, once I've come up with the design, I can remake it at any point in the year, but I will be doing it at that point in the year.
Yeah,
because otherwise I don't get the right vibe going.
Yeah, no, I understand that. Yeah,
unless
so
it's
you really immerse yourself in the energy of the season.
Yeah,
wonderful.
So that's brilliant.
Wonderful.
And so I've got a couple of the different ones here.
So who's this?
She's Yule.
Oh, she's beautiful, isn't she? Very sparkly.
And that one's actually got instead of lavender, she smells of like Christmas herbs. She's all spicy.
Yeah, lovely. Yeah.
She's the only one I've done different, just because.
Yeah.
And then
Spice Girl.
We've got and then the spring equinox.
Oh, lovely, yeah.
All the spring flowers.
Look at that, everybody. Beautiful. And I love her hair. Oh, lovely. Wool.
Yeah.
Different type of wool. Yeah, with the hair.
Yeah.
Moons and wonderful.
Yeah, and there's these
and
little
what's
ones.
That there?
Well, they've all carry a different little bottle, and there's something in different that's. I like to use things that I've got around the garden that I can dry and pick. Although that one's got it, I think that one has clary sage and sandalwood. So it was sort of because at the equinox, it's that real fresh spring cleany type of time of year, so it's clearance. So it's clearance, and so and then the Samhain one, she's got mugwort in her little bottle, and so it's things that I've grown in the garden, and I'll dry them.
Wonderful. So this is
Samhain.
Samhain, of course. Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
But look, you can hang them up. Look, how wonderful is that? She'd look great there. I might have to buy a few more.
Yeah, I like that kind of, and with anything that I make, you can just go and make stuff, but it's nice if there's a focus to the make.
Yeah, absolutely.
So whether that's focusing on a season, or if it's, I really like it if I get a commission for something, especially if it's something that's a bit of a challenge, or it's for someone special, and you can really then make it properly for them.
Yeah, tailor make it.
And and try and tap into something that is special to them.
Yeah.
Or for the purpose that they want it for.
Yeah, lovely. Yeah, because there's really sort of personal intention. Yeah. Which is the essence of all magic.
It is, exactly. And I think that crafting anything, whatever it is you're doing, it is magical, because you start off with bits and pieces and you end up with something. You've turned it into something else.
Yeah, through your intentions and focus.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
So it's nice if I'm doing it I like doing things for specific people if I can, because you can then put that extra focus and intention.
But you're not the only person that's behind Cauldron Creations,
no, I'm
are
not.
you?
No.
Who's in the background?
Well,
but very much a major sort of part of it.
Definitely. So there's my husband.
Yes.
And he has started to kind of come on board a little bit and do bits and pieces for me. So there's a couple of things. So with our little...
Of which one I have.
Yes.
Up here. Which I bought off of Helen's stall at the Fairy Festival the other week, a few weeks ago, and it's wonderful. I love it. It's just perfect for the treehouse. Yeah. So, sorry, you were saying what else have we got?
It started off with the little driftwood fairy doors.
Oh, they are gorgeous. Look at these. Look at these. And I mean, these could be pieces of cake, couldn't they? I think they've got little marzipan features on them. Just stunning. And this is driftwood.
Yeah, and I mean, we love doing that. Who doesn't love picking along a beach and picking stuff up? It's one of the best things in the world, isn't it?
Beach combing.
It is, isn't it? Yeah. It's fantastic. So it kind of started, you pick up these bits of wood and then you're like, what will you do with them? And we started doing that. So he was helping me cutting things up when they were a bit big and shaping them and bits and pieces like that. And then he got into doing the pyrography.
Oh, let's have a look at that.
Yeah.
That's lovely. I mean, that's gorgeous. Yeah.
And this is great. And again, this is something that we both quite like doing, of repurposing bits and pieces.
Yeah, recycling.
So 99% of the pieces of wood that he will do stuff on, we've bought from charity shops, from boot sales.
So it's all
found
recycled
by the side of the road.
Like the treehouse.
Yeah.
This is all recycled
it's just
stuff.
take it home, sand it,
that
give it
love.
nice
there as well, This is going to cost me a few quid, folks. Yeah. But who can blame me? They're beautiful stuff, beautiful craftsmanship.
But it's great to have that, so that as well as just being a really big support.
Yeah.
It's also joining me in.
Yeah.
Joining in with the crafting.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, Ian does that with me. He does the copper. Now, what is this? This is beautiful.
Well,
it's tiara.
It's tiara, yeah.
A goddess tiara, no less.
Yeah. Well, you've got to have a bit of bling sometimes.
Yeah, absolutely. I quite like that.
Okay, cool.
Do you think?
Yeah. Very regal.
Do you think? What's say? Do you think? Yeah, I think that's quite good, don't you? Yeah. That's another one for the pot.
And I like doing these bits and pieces with the wire.
Yeah,
I love it.
All right, so you've made this is just a tiara base that you've bought. You've made it.
This piece.
Okay.
That piece is bought because they're set so that they won't bend completely out of shape. But then the top is then wired.
Okay.
And everything else is all wired, and the spirals and everything else.
And these are crystals?
They're opalite, which is actually a man-made one, but I do a lot of gemstone ones. All different ones as well. Yeah.
Yeah. So you're crafting with material and with crystals. I mean, this is beautiful, Helen. This is gorgeous. And this is fluorite.
It is, yes.
One of my favourite crystals. I mean, have a look at that. It's a beautiful piece of fluorite there. It's just gorgeous.
I don't like to make the settings on those too complicated because you want the gem to shine through, don't you?
Yeah. Beautiful. And do you know much about crystals, or do you just,
I think the more you work with them...
I love crystals, but I don't know... I wouldn't say I'm a mine of information on them.
No, I'm not the most knowledgeable person, but the more you work with them, the more you... And I think it's one of these things where often I think we spend too much time focusing on what the book says.
Yeah.
Because most of the time... I'd say to people, if they want something in particular, yes, you could look it up, but actually you're better off just going, what is it that I am drawn to right now? And then quite often, if they'll then pick up the book and have a look at what that was, they'll be, you know what, actually,
there's some form of synchronicity.
There's something there.
Yeah, there's a connectedness.
Yeah. So I think sometimes it's fine just to be intuitive with it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, isn't that how we all shop anyway?
Yeah.
I think we do, don't we? We don't go in and go, now, the meaning of that piece of leather there is, or whatever it is, do we? I don't think we do. I think we're very much...
Exactly.
Exactly. And this is gorgeous as well. So what's this? This is a...
So we've got a little pendant made from peacock feathers.
Peacock feathers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I like using feathers, but they can't be bought.
No.
They have to be found. So, I mean, we picked up a lot on Brownsea Island when we were on holiday because there were peacocks running wild.
Really?
And
where's Brownsea Island?
It's in Poole Harbour in Dorset.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Fantastic place. They've got no natural predators, so that they've peacocks and chickens just running around the place. People must have thought we were mad because I was going around with a bag just collecting
all the feathers.
Collecting all the feathers.
Good for you.
But it's nice just to have the found thing.
Yeah.
And also knowing that something...
You don't want to be running after peacocks and diving for their tails.
No, but again, if you just purchased them, you wouldn't know whether something had been
that's true.
Killed and plucked.
Oh, no, that's
So it's nice to be able to just, come across these things.
And what's this? Tell me
about. So we've got a little tree of life, all made from wire and crystals. And again, as I say, I love copper wire.
Yeah, beautiful.
Copper wire with carnelian.
Yeah.
And I love just doing, just it's very therapeutic sitting there with wire.
Is that a copper wire chain?
Yes, it is.
Is it really? Do you know, I've never seen a copper wire chain before.
Haven't you?
I didn't know you could get them.
Yeah.
Well, there's something I've learned today. I'm learning loads. Blimey, I want to come and do some crafting with you.
Yeah.
But Helen, listen, that isn't all you do, is it?
No, it's not.
Take a look at this, folks.
kicking up enough hate to fill up the sky. Take me away from the swarm. Feels like a gathering storm.
Thank you so much. I've always wanted to dance, like, you know, to have, but I've always enjoyed dancing, and I think I've got a certain sense of rhythm, but I don't know any. I've never been taught any techniques, or, you know, it's always been free flow, whatever you call it, dancing on the dance floor, you know. So and following the odd dancer or two, but never knowing exactly what to do. So that was brilliant. Thank you so much. I really enjoyed that, and I might have to take up dancing from now on. So you tell me, when did your love of dancing start? And
I've always loved to dance, but I didn't do classes as a child.
Okay.
My mum wasn't keen on sending me. I think she thought it would all just be too much more.
Yeah.
But I started belly dancing. I first tried it, I think I was about 20. So we won't say how many years ago that
was. No. Not that long ago, I wouldn't have thought, if you don't mind me saying. Anyway, moving on.
And at that point, there was no local classes. So it was just, there was somebody who used to come and do a workshop.
Yeah.
But they came about 3 times a year.
Okay.
So, and then we got to a point where there's been a bit of an explosion in popularity of it. And there were different classes that I tried. And then the last one that I went to, I'm still friends with the teacher, and we perform together sometimes.
Yeah.
It was just such a different style. Not of the dance, but of the teaching and how and the expressing. So every other class I'd been to, it was, here's a piece of choreography, learn it. And you'd stand behind them in a row, in front of the mirror, and every week you were doing the same thing, you know. Copying, yeah. Just copying their choreography with no real self-expression. And then I changed teachers, and at first it was absolutely terrifying. Sort of the first lesson I went to of hers, it got to the end of the class, and I've really enjoyed it.
Who was she? Who's she?
Nadia.
Nadia.
Nadia. So, and she said, right, this is the point in the class where we all get up and do a short piece of improvised dancing for the rest of the class. And I was like, oh my God. She said, you don't have to do it this week because it's your first class. I was like, oh, thank God. But I nearly didn't go back the following week because I felt such a terror.
Exposure.
Yeah, it's exposure. And there's something quite... It's you know, you're really showing something of yourself, something personal.
Yeah.
But I went back feeling slightly sick, and I did it, and it was fine.
Yeah.
And the more you do it, and the more you just learn, because as you say, when you're, you know, at a party, you're watching a band or whatever, you're not thinking about what you're doing, are you?
No.
Don't think, what shall I do next? You know, you just do it.
So
if you learn the technique and just learn to follow the music, interpret the music, feel it, be that next instrument in the band.
Yeah.
And then just go for it.
Yeah. And do you still dance with Nadia now, don't you?
Yes.
So you're in a group?
Well, yeah, there's a little group of us.
Called?
We are the Barefoot Connection. And we mostly still dance as soloists.
Right.
But we'll often try and do one group performance at the end. But we've only had a few performances together. We only decided to actually start going out there and performing last year, so there hasn't been that many yet. Okay.
Yeah. And what kind of events do you perform at?
Anyone who'll have us.
Did you hear that? And where can people contact you if they wanted you to perform, to approach you?
Yeah, well, we're on Facebook.
On Facebook.
So there's a page, the Barefoot Connection.
Okay, great. And I'll put that in the show notes. Link in the show notes.
And then I've got my own personal blog as well.
You've got the belly blog?
Yeah, my belly blog.
Now, I'm really impressed with that because I was looking at that last night, and you've just started doing little videos, haven't you? Little tuition videos.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
Thank you.
Because for somebody like me who doesn't get out much, and, you know, because my workload is pretty full anyway, with what's going on in my life. So having that kind of accessibility to somebody actually like yourself, and they're just so personable, and I just think they're lovely, those videos.
Yeah,
so
thank you.
Yeah,
I found it really weird at first.
Yeah.
It's just talking to a camera with nobody else there. I felt like a complete plonker, and I just kept sort of like
takes some guts, doesn't it?
And turning it off and thinking, right, I've got to start again, because that was appalling. And if I do a bit of sort of performance with it, that's weird as well, because
where's the audience?
You feed off the energy of the people, and you can interact with
exactly what
you can interact with the audience. You can catch an eye, and a smile or an uncomfortable whatever, but you feed back and forth off of that energy of the people. So just sort of trying to just have a dance on my own, but not in a way that you would if you weren't filming it. It is a bit weird, but I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying it, and it was a way of making me practice at home.
Yes.
Because even if you've learnt something and you've been doing it for a long while, if you don't use it, you're going to get rusty.
And also, I think if you're teaching a subject, I think that it's brilliant because it sort of reaffirms your ability, because you're practicing the whole, like as you say, it's constant practice, constant confirmation of what you know, but you continue to learn, don't you?
Oh God, yeah. Because and you learn off each other with other performers.
And they say, don't they, that we teach best what we need to learn.
And I mean that's the other thing. As a dancer, there's always some things that you're good at and some things that you're not so good at, because just some things come naturally to other people, some people better than others. So it might be that normally if I'm performing, I know I probably might not use that move that much because I don't like, but then, so you just wouldn't practice it, But if you're then trying to think, well, I need to give a fully rounded
comprehensive
experience, I've got to practice that to show it.
Yeah. So you've got this tuition thing going on video online. So would you entertain sort of teaching anybody that came to you physically?
Yep. In fact, I'm probably getting a student soon.
Oh, that's good.
So I did look at hiring a hall, but there were issues. They all wanted extra public liability insurance. And I wasn't sure if I could guarantee a class full. If you can't do that, I couldn't financially.
So where are you going to take this person down the beach? Or
I'll do it. No, I'll do it in
garden.
I'll do it at home. I'll do it at home.
Of course,
I'll do it at home. So that way I don't.
And I love your setting for your videos. Is that your conservatory?
Yeah, I mean that feels
lovely.
like a slightly grand word for it, but
do you make all your crafts out there, or have you got a separate room for your crafts?
I have the dining room.
Oh, okay.
We had the dining room.
That was the dining room.
There's a panic. There's a panic when if I can tote things out to where the videos are done, I like doing it because the light there is fantastic. It's such a light space, but it's become, we've only had it for a few years, the conservatory. I guess it's slightly more of a lean-to.
It looks quite big.
Yeah, it's not bad size. It's not a bad size.
You've got to run up and down.
Run up and down.
Or shimmy up and down.
Shimmy up and down. Yeah. But it's become. That's almost become. It's such a multifunctional space because it's like a second living room. But it's also where we've got our altars and we might hold celebration. So it's that as well as doing videos and things like that,
because we come to your paganism, which is your spirituality, which infuses all of your work, doesn't it? Your art, your crafts. It's the foundation.
It is, because for me the most important thing with my beliefs is just the natural world and the cycle and the seasons. So I'm obsessed with colour. And that's what you see, going out for a walk,
especially at the moment.
As you get into the spring and everything's that bright green when it first comes out, and going through, I know, green is my favourite colour.
I noticed. And of course your clothes, which, you make most of them yourself, don't you?
Yeah, maybe not most of them, but I make quite a lot.
Have you made that outfit that you've got on today?
Yes.
Right, so.
Yeah.
Now, I couldn't do that. I want to commission that shawl of you as well, because I just love that shawl. It's beautiful.
Thank you.
So how long have you been working with materials,
That was actually, the clothing was probably the first thing.
Was it?
And that was because of learning from my mum.
Yeah.
Because she was a dressmaker.
Yeah.
that was something that I picked up from a young age. So some of my early attempts, I look back on some of the things I left the house wearing and think, oh good God, why didn't somebody tell me don't do it?
Oh, of course, you've got those photos to remind you.
No, well this is the one. No, I haven't really, because
just your memories.
Because
then.
It's before digital.
Oh, okay.
So
Thank
you didn't
God.
really take many photos in those days, did you?
No.
So no, thank God. But yes, yeah, so I would say that the clothing just came. That I was doing. That was doing first. I mean, I make a little bit to sell, and I want to expand on that. But it's another challenge because I'm kind of used to making for me.
Yeah.
So it's not just maybe, and I'm quite happy to make that kind of style of clothing, but you've got to then think about making things that are sized and and things like that. I can't just have a stall full of things that would fit me. No,
that wouldn't be good.
You need to have that range, and it's working out how the designs that I've made up.
But I've noticed a lot of your materials, your clothing materials, are very stretchy, aren't they?
They are. Yes.
So they must be quite easy to work with. I don't know anything about.
Sometimes stretchy things are. Sometimes stretchy things are good, and sometimes it's not, because it can. As you're sewing, it will get bigger.
Oh God, yeah. And you've got to sort of pull it all in and gather it and all that kind of. Yeah. That sounds like my worst nightmare. I couldn't. Me and a needle and thread just doesn't happen.
Yeah, I'll just sit there for hours behind the overlocker, hammering away.
Yeah, I mean, you must have immense patience to be working. I mean, I couldn't do all this. I really couldn't. It just, But you obviously love doing it.
Yeah, and if I've had a few weeks where life has taken me in a way that I haven't been able to make anything, I start getting a little bit twitchy.
Yeah, I get very twitchy.
I'll get a bit twitchy, and I'm like, I need to make something. I've been too busy, or if you're ill or something, as soon as you think, what can I do?
Yeah. And do you find that your creative process is your therapy as well?
Oh God, yeah. Yeah, and I'm sure he won't mind me saying, but that's something for Matt, is that is just. It's good. It's just something you can zone out on and concentrate on, and not think about anything else. And I definitely find that with the crafting, but the dancing is definitely hello B.
Hello, Mrs. B.
Is definitely something that's a real meditative thing.
Yeah.
It's I would say it's what I would call my happy place.
Yeah. Well, I tell you, just watching you dance and being with you when you're dancing, because I had the pleasure of that, not only just now, but the last time we performed. You were dancing when we were playing, and it was wonderful. You clearly just put your heart and soul into it, and you totally immerse yourself in the music, and you become one with it. I mean, to me, that's very sort of noticeable. You just become. There's no separation between you and the dance.
Yeah,
you become the dance.
Definitely, yeah. And the music is such an important.
It's a joy to watch. You are a joy to watch and to be with.
Thank
Helen.
you.
And where can people find you online? We have mentioned that, but
so there's Cauldron Creations on Facebook.
Yeah.
And I'm also on Instagram for Cauldron Creations as well. And then there's the Barefoot Connection, which is with the group of dancing, and then there's my belly blog, which is my blog of a little bit of performing, and then all the instructional videos. Yeah, and they're both on Facebook too.
Excellent. And you've got some more trading events coming up with your crafting stalls?
Yeah, we've got a few. Haven't got masses, because obviously somebody has a day job, not me.
You gave that up long ago.
Yeah, well, no, it was only last year, actually.
Yeah, was it?
Yeah, it was only last year.
Yeah.
Yeah, after being made redundant, it was... And that's where I give full credit to the other half, because he was just I had a bit of a panic moment when I found out, and he was just, no, give this a go.
Yeah, because sometimes we need that kick, that proverbial kick up the backside, don't we?
Yeah.
To release that sort of safety net, because it's all too easy to think, I'll just keep the job on.
Yeah.
Until I'm earning enough or whatever, until I can do that. But actually, I mean, no one could say that the job you have at the moment is not worthwhile, because clearly all this beautiful all these beautiful things, these creations. I mean, I'm totally, delighted with my Morrigan, and she's going to stay in the treehouse from here on in. But honestly, Helen, it's been lovely having you here.
Oh, it's been such a pleasure, and this place is just so gorgeous.
It's magical, isn't it?
It is. It's just pure magic.
Yeah. Well, you keep making your magic, creating your magic, and I'm going to follow you on Facebook, on your belly blog, and learn how to dance.
Good. Yeah. I hear Pixie's dad is.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, blimey. Yeah. Okay. Well, all the best. Wishing you all the best with your future creativity.
Thank you.
And keep weaving your magic, because it's working.
Thank you.
Okay. TTFN. Bye for now, everybody.